Toasted Almond Productions presents a look at my new cell phone. And no, it's not this thing. Not sure if you can hear it in the background. It's actually fairly windy outside today. Here's the old one. It's a Samsung Galaxy Ace IIx, and if you have no idea what it is, then rest assured that you're not alone, because I really have no idea what it is. It's not low-end, per se. I mean, it is, you know, an average Android phone. There's not much, you know, you can go wrong with it. I'm going to make sure it's not showing anything private before I unlock it here. It's, you know, your average, ordinary Android phone, you know, running Android ice cream sandwich and all of that whatnot. Even has microSD expansion, which is a nice feature that I usually take advantage of, but there's no microSD card slot in there because it is no longer my phone. And I'll tell you why it's no longer my phone. The answer to that question is, let's see, I think it's 3 or 4-fold. The first reason is that the keyboard, especially when you turn the thing on, is rather slow to respond. Now, it's probably not going to do it now because I've got it on camera. But we're going to try and open up an application and, I don't know, I'll start typing something. It looks fine. Looks fine now. But it's first of all, it's really annoying to type on this keyboard because look at how small those keys are. And second of all, when you first turn the thing on, and usually when you're running applications in the background, the thing is so slow to respond that it gets to be really difficult to try and type stuff in. And that's really annoying, because typing is one of those things that should not take a long time to process. But yet it does. My second complaint is the GPS. It is really, really, really slow to get a lock on where it is. You know, we're talking like 3, 4, sometimes even 10 minutes before it obtains a signal outside on a clear day. You know, and that's unacceptable, because I've got other GPSs that can obtain their position. In fact, let me show you something else. You see this right here? This is another cell phone. This is a HTC Dream from early 2000s, and it can obtain its position in probably about 2 to 3 minutes on an overcast day like it is outside right now today. And given the difference between these two, how old this is compared to this, well, that's also highly unacceptable. Another gripe is the wireless radio. And again, I'm going to use this as a comparison point. This thing right here, while old, and I think it's only 802.11b capable, while old, will manage to maintain a signal no matter where it is in this room. This thing, as soon as you move it around 2 steps, it will drop the signal. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what you're doing, and again, I don't understand that. It makes absolutely no sense. The only thing I can possibly think of is that the wireless radio in the thing is defective. But even that is not enough to make me switch, get that out of the way, because it still places phone calls just fine, still sends text messages just fine, still takes videos just fine, which is anything that I would need a phone for, and not even that last one, because I've got all kinds of other devices, you know, like these 2 things right here, that one, and that one. Those can take videos, that can take videos, and I've got camcorders that can all take videos, so I do not need that thing to take any videos. And it can still send and receive phone calls and text messages just fine. No, the straw that broke the camel's back was, again, 2-fold. You see this? This is the original battery, and it lasted, probably about 4 or 5 months before it crapped the bed. What I ended up having to do, and this was a while ago, I think I even talked about this in a video because I was pissed off with the company that sent this out because they have absolutely no idea how shipping works. Got a replacement battery. It's been working fine on this ever since. So there's one thing. I guess that much is not too much of a gripe because it does still work. But the real problem is on the bottom. That is the world's worst connector right there. And it's not even a debatable opinion that that is the world's worst connector. It is a proven fact that it is the world's worst connector. Micro USB is known to break under, not so stressful conditions. Doesn't matter what you're doing. In fact, this thing right here is another old cell phone. Has a broken micro USB connector. I never once abused this thing. The only time I threw this around was when it was unplugged. Because, I'm smart enough to realize that if you throw it around while it's plugged in, it's not really going to go far, and B, you're probably going to break something. So, there's that. That's broken. And this connector is starting to give way. I have to wiggle it around in order to get it to connect properly. And that, folks, just will not do. Because, first of all, I don't want that thing to break while I'm not at home, and I need it to be charged, and it runs out of batteries. What the heck am I going to do then? I don't know. So I decided to take something that was left over from a recent upgrade. I'm not about to go to my carrier and get a new phone because it's going to cost money. And money that I don't have at the moment. But what I can do, because there is another phone in this place that was on the same carrier that was left over from a recent upgrade, which I think I already mentioned. So I decided to do just that. And I know exactly what is going to happen in the comments. And I hope that it doesn't. Please do not start a platform war in the comments. I am not going to put up with it. I'm going to delete every comment that has anything to do with which platform is better. I don't care. I want none of that in my comment section. It's not a free-for-all. I'm not switching because I don't like the Android platform. And yes, that is right. I am switching to one of these things. Not switching because of that, I'm switching because this doesn't work, this does. And I got a snoring cat to deal with in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear that. But anyways, what is this, you may ask? This is an iPhone 3GS. Yes, I know, it is really, really old, but it is also really, really functional. And also really, really free. All of which are very good selling points. 16 gigabytes in size, which is far better than this thing ever will be. It's got 2 gigabytes of onboard storage, which is pathetic. Even though it does have the micro SD storage. The biggest micro SD card that I have, that is not the 32 gig that's in my high-definition camcorder that is sitting over there, is 8 gigabytes, which gives me 10 gigabytes total storage. Which is still not enough, or still not as much as this. It is plenty enough, because I will never fill that up. I never even came close to filling up the 32 gigabytes that I had before I got the other camcorder. And all of my gripes are solved. The connector on the bottom, which, while proprietary and not something I'm a fan of, definitely works just fine. The keyboard, see if I can bring up the note. Oops. Well, I could have just done that. I can search using this, but you cannot see because the camera will not adjust to it. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'm really not sure why on that one. I'm going to turn the brightness down, I guess. Which is really easy to do, fortunately. Brightness and wallpaper. Turn that down. Okay, so now it should be able to see, even though I can't see what I'm doing now. So I'll add a note, and we will start typing stuff. As you can see, it is a lot more responsive, and it's actually easier to type on this. Even though the keys are about the same size, and it's about the same layout. It's just, it's better contrast. It feels a little bit different to type on one of these things. And also, because this screen feels a little bit different. It's glass as opposed to, plastic, which is what this is. Although, maybe this could be glass. I don't know. It's a different composition. Different kind of glass. But anyways, runs just fine. Sends phone calls, receives messages, sends and receives messages. Sends and receives both of them. And runs all the applications that I need. And that's all that I really care about. And I now have a cellular device that doesn't have a broken charging port. And now let's take a look at some test footage. This thing does not have a built-in LED light, so I will not be able to compare that because there's nothing really to compare to. And there's also a lot more footage that I took with that thing, including some outdoor stuff. So, I mean, it's not technically a fair comparison, but it is definitely a comparison, and you can get an idea as to what it looks like compared to the old device that is sitting over there. Alright, so this is what this thing looks like, and what it sounds like. It sounds like pants. I already know that. But, basically that's what it looks like. You draw your own conclusions on that one. There's one thing that this thing does have, and I will need to stop the recording in order to show it off, that the iPhone over there does not have, that really makes it shine, but not a feature that I really care about losing, because I don't really use it that often, because the camera is kind of crappy, as it is anyways, even with that feature. Take a look. You can look outside. No comments on the decor of the room, please. You can see exactly what's going on out there. Take a look at the lawn with all of its dead grass, because it's not quite, not quite the end of spring yet. This grass is always kind of dead anyways, but that's a matter of something else. I'm not a gardener, so I don't really care too much. At least not yet. So, there you go. There's basically a test of the camera on this thing. And here it is with aforementioned feature turned on. So, we'll go ahead and take a look at some stuff in low light that you will see now. And it lights things up pretty well. I mean, that's nice, I guess, but it's not a feature that I would use too terribly often, because, well, I'd much rather use one of my camcorders to make a video, first of all, and none of those have video lights. And even if I wanted to use something with a video light, I have something right here, and this has got a far better camera on it. So, there's another thing. Alright, here's a test. The iPhone's 3GS camera. You can get an idea what it looks like. Basically looking at the same stuff. You can see it looks kind of washed out a little bit on the top. But then again, this is a cell phone, so they don't really take good video as it is. And this is pretty good. I believe this is recording in 720p, but it's going to be downscaled to widescreen. I think it's 640 by 360. No, it's 720 by 480 widescreen. By the time it's all said and done, take a look outside. Once again, take a look at the brown grass that is pretty dead. Things are pretty lifeless right about now. But there you pretty much go. I believe that is all that I really need to say about the camera on this thing. I'll do one more thing, and we'll take a look at that same low light area, and we'll see what it does. You can see, not too bad. I can see everything that I would really need to see back down here. See those cables and all of that. It's not perfect, but then again, like I said before, if I want something to be perfect and want it to have a video light, I can just use this thing right here, because it has a video light on it. Oh yeah, and there's one other thing that this has that the other one doesn't, and it is focus, which I think is a pretty nice feature.
Yeah, I've been bragging about Brandon about that. Brandon will severe 70. All of a sudden, an email in the next couple of days, trying to organize something the next couple of weeks.
Because I remember last week, Next station, Carling. Prochaine station, Carling. Station. Station Carling. Station, Carlton. Prochaine station, Carlton. Carlton Station. Station Carlton.
This is a super low light test. I mean, there is some light, as you can clearly see, but not much. Go in here. Take a look. This is what it sees. Looking at the LCD screen, there isn't much. By comparison, here's a super low light test of the old phone without the LED light. Take a look at what it sees. Looks like it sees just a little bit more, but not much as well. It's also shaking around like crazy. And here it is with the LED light on, which gives it a completely unfair advantage, but as you can see, it looks a whole lot better, because you can actually see things. Go in here, take a look at all that stuff. Same crap that I've been looking at, and there you go. Cat is still under there. And there you have it. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.